I got to start this podcast off with a laugh because we have had a crazy, crazy week in professional wrestling, probably the biggest week in professional wrestling history. Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony Velvet Hall,
Is there?
and joining me is none other than the one, the only. Let me see if I get this right this time. I did it. Yeah, that's him right there. Neff, Neff,
All
Neff,
right.
Neff. What's going on, man?
How's it going? How's your
Man,
week?
this the week has been crazy. Oh man, it's been a crazy week. Let's jump right into it. Everybody knows what the biggest news this week happens to be, and it is the news that has the entire wrestling world, sports entertainment world, whatever you want to call it, on its edge. All right. In the midst of allegations and investigation by the WWE Board of Investigation or Board of Directors, I'm sorry, Vince McMahon has decided at 77 years old to retire from WWE. Now, we all know about everything that's happening with Vince McMahon. What we do know is this: every bit of intercourse he had with whoever he had it with apparently was consensual. At least that's what we're being told as it relates to the people that he paid off. The money that he gave them was hush money to keep them quiet. Now, these people have not come forward about this information. This was investigated by the board of directors. So the board of directors went to these people and asked them all the questions about their relationship with Vince McMahon. None of these people have violated NDAs and said, you know what, I'm just going to tell on you and ruin your reputation. All right. This is an investigation. From what we understand, it's still an ongoing investigation. I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, what comes of this investigation is so big and so bad and so brutal that it could probably have all kinds of ramifications on the WWE as a business. So, Neff, initial thoughts about the retirement of Vince McMahon from WWE.
I was shocked. But I've always said about Vince that, it was always time to kind of hang it up. I didn't really see it coming, but as far as all the allegations and everything, they have to really have something on Vince. Really have something on Vince that just say, yeah, I need to step back and I need to, I need to go ahead and retire. It's just wild, man. It's wild. I don't have this retire though. I mean, hell, even Jeff Jarrett got a video package, and he wasn't even. They announced him as a special guest referee. How dare we retire the man, the foundation of WWE, with Stephanie McMahon announced his retirement and asking the fans to say thank you. I'm not accepting this. I do a whole lot better than that. I need to come out of the helicopter, the building. I need pyro. I need all that because he still got to get his flowers.
All right, I had to bring up the other camera because like everything you said is just like is breaking up. So I'm trying to make sure that you have like a stable connection because I know you really want to express yourself about this whole Vince McMahon thing. So I got one camera, then I got the other camera. The second camera that I have with you on it is just like really blurry. And the first one, the one that you usually use,
It's
is
really, yeah.
Is that just audio purposes?
It's just audio purposes.
yeah. I mean, well, if I could just do audio with you, I would. I really would. But I really want to just kind of see if let's see. I'm gonna take this one camera off and just keep this other one going. Oh well, you got out of that one. Okay. Let's see. Let's add this first one back to the stream, and let's remove this one. All right. So, are you
We're
good?
gonna get it together. Is my audio jacked up?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get it together. But okay, not you're better now, but you froze again. Now you're better. Now you froze. Now you better. Now you froze. Okay. But anyway, let me just talk about this whole Vince McMahon thing right now. So Neff's having some issues right now, so he'll be back. But here's something that I really want to talk to you about everybody about. Recently, all this stuff going on with Vince McMahon, everybody's talking about it. Paul London was a guest on a podcast not too long ago. And being a guest on the podcast, he was talking about Ashley Massaro, who happens to be somebody, a former WWE Diva Search winner. I think she was a former WWE Divas champion. She actually committed suicide years ago. and there's a lot of extenuating circumstances surrounding her passing. Um, a big story happens to be her going to Paul London and talking about what she went through when she was dealing with Vince McMahon. Here's a story that Paul London gave us. Paul London says that Ashley would always talk to him about being harassed by Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn. Um, it was said that Ashley went overseas on a tour with WWE and that she was sexually assaulted by a member of the United States military. And after this assault happened, she went to Vince and told him about it, and he told her to keep her mouth closed about it because it wouldn't be conducive to the well-being of the company. So she was very upset about that, and WWE did a lot of things to protect themselves and save face as it related to the company, but pretty much left her out to dry. Now, not only that, but she was also invited many times to fly on the private jet with Vince McMahon. She refused, and then even after they made their way to the hotel where the divas or female wrestlers were being housed, she was constantly being harassed by Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon to join them. For what I do not know, but with all that compounded and then her eventual suicide, it really did not look good for Vince McMahon. So things like that, and that's just one story. That's a story the far beyond the person who was employed by WWE who was paid off. You know, one of the people, because from what we're being told, he paid off several women to a tune of a total of $12 million. You know, to keep quiet about his relationships or whatever with them. So this is a very messy situation, and it really makes me wonder what's going to happen as it relates, or how everybody is going to look at the legacy of Vince McMahon. Um, we're talking about a whole lot of stuff, and we have my good buddy, the one and only Ricky Silver, who is giving us who's joining us. Me and Ricky came up together in the business in Fort Valley's All Star Wrestling Network. Rest in peace, Mike Money. Good guy that we lost. Ricky Silva says, yeah, that was wild. Yes, indeed, that was wild. Neff, please give us your take on what you think the lasting legacy of Vince McMahon is going to be.
I mean, hopefully my audio. Am I good? Audio's good, or I'm still choppy. Okay. uh, in these situations, everybody's legacy, when we get allegations, when we get, you know, just misuse and misguidance of power, we wipe it all out. It ain't like a cancel culture kind of thing. It's one of those things where it's just like, you know, we look everybody for everybody perfect, and when things come up, they're what we have done for business.
Yeah, your audio is all over the place, man. I'm trying to work with your audio, but it's all over the place. It's like in out, in out. It's crazy right now, man. Is your connection good?
You got me. I don't know. You got
like you'll start off good, and all of a sudden it just trails off.
We'll get this together, man. I had so many good points. Now I got to go live on some other time and just go back over everything. But yeah, I mean, just hopefully his legacy stays intact with just the foundation he's laid. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. I think when you got somebody that has a legacy like Vince McMahon, I mean, we talk about people and we talk about artists of any kind all the time, from music artists to actors and entertainers that always have a really checkered history and stuff like that, and their legacy always comes up. A lot of times we seem to have like selective memory when it comes to how we remember them. There's probably no bigger case than Chris Benoit when we talk about wrestling. That's like the biggest shades of gray legacy in wrestling that we have. Nobody in their right mind would excuse the fact that this man killed his whole family. But at the same time, there are people who celebrate his work in the ring. You know, it's crazy, but it's true.
Yeah, I won't forget that one.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will. I don't think anybody will. Now, after Vince's retirement, probably either a day before or maybe hours before Vince retired, um, we learned that Triple H would return to his duties as executive vice president of talent relations when it comes to WWE. And that's big because NXT was his baby. NXT was his baby. And last week, if you
Mm-hmm.
watched our show, if you haven't, you can always go to www.planetvelvet.net to find out what we talked about. One of the things we talked about, or that I spoke about, was NXT. It was kind of hard for me to really buy into NXT with everything that's happened. It's like NXT Technicolor NXT. So maybe Triple H can infuse it with the black and gold spirit that made it so great. Neff, your opinion about Triple H resuming his EVP duties in WWE?
Needed, especially at this time. It's all hands on deck with everything that's going on. It's all hands on deck. So you can't go outside the box because all those relationships and, and and the stories and all that. Like it's one of those things where you need Triple H when you step at the point. Um, for now, yeah, Triple H definitely needed right.
Okay, all right. And another thing that happened when with Vince's removal, WWE needed a couple of CEOs, and as it has been noted very well, Stephanie McMahon, who was the interim CEO and chairperson, is now installed as the chairperson of WWE, as well as a co-CEO with Nick Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, this is a loaded one. This right here is. I mean, like it's
It
nothing
got
about
your
Stephanie.
blood.
It's nothing about Stephanie. I mean, I love the fact that she's that it's gone from generation to generation. She's fourth generation promoter. You know,
Mm-hmm.
from Jess McMahon to Vince Senior to Vince Junior, now to Stephanie. I'm glad that it stayed in the family. To be honest with you, because there was so much talk, a year ago about WWE being sold to Peacock and all that kind of stuff. Not that that's not all off the table, but it's good to see that her face is the one that's going to be the face of WWE right now. So Nick Khan, don't really know a whole lot about him. I just hear bits and pieces and opinions that everybody has about the man. But Neff, what's your opinion about Stephanie and Nick sharing CEO duties when it comes to WWE?
I'm with you on it. Fourth generation. I mean, they don't make sense. I didn't see it going to anyone else. I'm so glad Shane McMahon. Uh, so Stephanie McMahon, Tony Khan, like it's in good hands for now. We'll see what those relationships and what that does in the long run. But I think that she has a lot of respect in the locker room, and so business got to keep going, man. It has to keep going.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, we There's so many talking points to talk about when it comes to this whole thing. Um, Almost immediately after Vince McMahon announced his retirement, after the tweet and after the statement came out, there was a news report that talked about Brock Lesnar leaving WWE because Vince was not there. And until about I guess maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, I was not privy to information that Neff shared with me. So Neff, if you would, please feel free to share your information about Brock Lesnar
Yeah,
to the fans.
yeah, it's been reported. I want everybody to kind of keep in mind that Brock Lesnar was not the angle they were going to go for with SummerSlam. It was originally supposed to be Randy Orton, but because of the injury, Vince reached out to Brock, said, "Hey, I got to bring you back earlier than as expected." So for him, I think his relationship with Vince was like, "Hey, I'm rolling with you," or I'm like, everybody's thinking it's a work, all that good stuff. But I think at the end of the night, when Brock left the arena, it's been reported that Vince sent him a text and told him, walking out on WWE is like walking out on everything I've built. And they, of course, changed the whole beginning of the show. They had to move some things around, and then once Brock got that text, he came back to finish out the night with Austin Theory. So we'll see where it go from here. But that relationship with Brock and Vince is something else. Just like other superstars as well that's been around Vince this long. Am I going out and all that stuff?
I'm gonna give you a chance to talk about that because I know you want to talk about one of your favorite superstars, and I say that jokingly. But jumping back into
and it better let me get it off. I swear, if it doesn't let me get it off, and I'm choppy and I'm
look, you're coming through a whole lot better now. So trust me. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna let you talk about it. Jumping back into the whole Triple H NXT thing, Ricky Silva says it will be very difficult for Triple H to transition more to the black and gold between marketing and advertising. It will be too expensive for them. Neff, what do you think about that?
I mean, that's been your thing. I know the black and gold is near and dear. That black and gold is near and dear to you. So it's just not going to happen. I agree. It's not going to happen. They've already spent all that money to change everything about it. Now we're in the bubblegum Nickelodeon stage of NXT.
I know it, man. It's just when I think about the best part of NXT and the glory days of NXT, it's all black and gold. Now it's just like kaleidoscope NXT. It's kind of hard to rock with it, but you just I don't know. It's
at least when NWO tried to change theirs from black and white, they changed it to black and red and kept it cool.
Yeah, man. But I mean, like even the lines are getting blurred with WWE NXT UK. Like we got NXT guys going over to the UK and winning the tag team belts. Now it's just like, I mean, who watches WWE NXT UK? I damn sure don't. I'm not gonna lie about it. I mean, it's probably popular over across the pond or whatever, but I don't watch it, man. The only time I watch NXT UK is when I look at Blackpool Takeover Part 2. That's it. And Cardiff. Other than that, I don't really watch it that much. After Walter left and everybody else left and came over to our NXT, it just doesn't do anything for me. Unless I'm watching Flash Morgan Webster. I like him because he's got a cool name. But other than that, it does nothing for me. They need to bring back Zaya Brookside. I love Zaya Brookside. I really do. She's got an edge on everybody being Robbie Brookside's daughter. But anyway, enough of my rant. On WWE NXT, let's see. Ricky had something else to say. Bubblegum Nickelodeon. That's a perfect assessment. Sports entertainment instead of wrestling. Man, you hit the nail right on the head, man. You hit the nail on the head, brother. You most definitely did. Hey, look, guys, when we come back, because we've been having these crazy issues with connectivity and all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna let Neff go right into his shoot on his favorite superstar in WWE right now, and he can't wait. Stick and stay, don't go away. This is the Planet Velvet.
So excited.
I mean, this is not the MySpace age ad. We need to use social media to our advantage.
She's still missing.
Well, then you should know I'm going to stop at absolutely nothing until I find mine.
Oh, should I wait with you? You know, it's pretty dangerous out here this time of night.
Why can't her mother watch her? Hell, why can't she watch herself? She's a teenager.
Good choice of words.
Excuse me? You're right. Who wants the case of the bitch?
Excuse me?
Hey, baby. I found his address. So you all been thinking about this for a while, huh?
You gonna act like you don't hear me? Oh, I got something for that. Freeze!
You are my life.
Yeah, well, you have a funny way of showing it.
Hey, Captain!
Charles Reedon, computer specialist. Think you guys have him labeled as the Grant Park killer.
The war is just beginning. And the bad part about it, they won't even see it coming. What's your fixation?
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, the Spotify sensation, the big screen temptation, the one, the only, Neff. And if you hear me,
Greetings.
you want to hear Neff
Greetings.
give his 2 cents about everything that's going on, stick and stay. The floor is yours, brother. But before I give you the floor, before I give
Well,
you the
hello.
floor, before I give you the floor, I mean, I need the fans. I need you guys to do one thing for me.
Give me that.
Hell yeah. You know.
Give me that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yes. So if you joined us last week, speaking of one of my new favorite wrestlers right now, and my rant was very direct. But you know, I wrote it. I said, all right, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do the rant and move on. We'll do something else next week. But this week, this week, after doing some research and a little bit of digging, I have to go back to my favorite wrestler right now, and that is Austin Theory, aka now Conspiracy Theory. That's his new name for me. Why? I'll tell you why. Because in my rant last week, I had a small dig at another situation that might be a little bit too sensitive, but hey, we're going to do it again. Because conspiracy theory has seemed to pull the wool over the fans and everyone else when we are doing research and digging. Anthony, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen Austin Theory's parents?
I never have. Can't say have.
Oh, you've never saw his parents. You mean he won a world title or Money in the Bank, or he's won championships? He ran out the crowd, hugged his mom, his dad, his brother, sister, cousin.
Can't say I have.
Well, after that realization, I had to go back and I couldn't find a single name for his parents at all. And I'm talking big sites. I'm not just talking, I'm talking Wikipedia. I'm talking WWE. I've searched and searched and searched, and not a single website or article says any name for Austin Theory's parents. That's a question you got to ask yourself, because see, now it becomes a conspiracy. Young man is 24 years old. We're talking about peak time of the Attitude Era. I'm not saying Vince, but I am saying this was peak Attitude Era. Anything could have went down. I'm talking about the limousine ride, the jet flying. I need answers. And if I have to be the first one to bring this up, I will bring it up, because now we're talking about hush money too. Could be this hush money be the young Austin Theory, aka Conspiracy Theory? Have we seen that hush money publicly out here every week? I need answers. I need answers. And that's my rant for the week. We'll do this again, because I'm not going to stop. Every Sunday at 4 o'clock, this will be the topic of discussion until I see some DNA tests, people. What's your mama name? Give me your mama name, and we'll go from there. Austin Theory, you got 48 hours, or I'm putting out a full article.
Hey, you ain't even got to do that. Just invite him to the cookout. Just invite him to the cookout. I'm just telling you. Invite him to the cookout. The reason I say invite him to the cookout, because this is why. Every black family has at least 2 nosy aunts. Mm-hmm. 2 of them. And they're going to be at the cookout. So what's going to happen? You know how they get down. They're going to sit in their chair. They're going to talk amongst each other. The closer he gets to these aunts, they're going to say, hey, baby, how you doing? Hey, you come sit down here. Come sit next to auntie. They're going to talk to him. And they're going to dig, you know. So I understand your passion for wanting to find out about Austin Theory. But please, throw some chicken, throw some burgers, some dogs, some ribs on the grill, and invite your aunties. They get all the information out of Austin Theory you want, man. I'm telling you.
It's conspiracy theory, okay? It's conspiracy theory. You might as well change that down there. It's conspiracy theory, okay? I've never seen anyone. As I read his page name unquote, it says we do not have any names or professions of his family or parents, and also all major outlets does not aid. I need answers. I need answers. And if I gotta be the first one to keep bringing this up, I will.
Hey, my buddy Spaz says that you're talking about his favorite wrestler. So maybe he's just as invested in this whole conspiracy theory guy as you are.
His parents' name?
You call him
conspiracy theory. He's 24 years old. Speaking of the Attitude Era, that's when the babies fly. Davis was out.
Oh my goodness! Wow, this is hilarious.
That's all I got. Until next week. Until next week. That's all I got for now.
Oh man, this is gonna be hilarious. This is funny. I like this. I like this whole conspiracy theory. I'm bugging right now. This is funny, man. Oh man. Whew. So let me see. Let's see. Well, hey, Ricky Silver.
I'm sorry. One more thing. No. One more thing. Was it Stone Cold Steve Austin, Vince McMahon's biggest rival at the peak of the 90s time? He probably called him Austin just cuz. All right, I'm done.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Let's see.
Sip my water.
You know, Ricky Silver is all in this as well, because Ricky says, to be fair, his facial bone structure is similar to Vince, but he was born before the official start of the Attitude Era. He also goes on to say he was born August 97. Attitude Era started November 97, right after the Montreal Screwjob. Neff?
Oh, then that's when you feel, oh, we talking Screwjob time. And you right. For the actor, we talking time. Oh, this is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. The best there is, the best there was, the best there will be. Yes.
I mean, let me ask you this. He may have been born in Atlanta. His mother might be Canadian. Could Austin Theory's conception be the real Montreal Screwjob?
Amen. Just ask conspiracy.
Well, man, we got to get you a better internet connection, man. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to break, and
don't talk about my internet.
I'm talking, man. It happens. We're gonna go to break right now. When we come back, we're gonna talk about a world championship that changed last night at Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor, and the ramifications because of it. All right, stick and stay, don't go away. This is the Planet Velvet Pro Wrestling Podcast. Log on to StallionSquad.com today and use discount code VELVET10 to get yourself some great savings on premium fitness gear, no matter what your fitness level may be. Stallion Squad, squad up.
When you see your wife, how does she make you feel?
She's peaceful. trip to paradise.
This is the Boozerweight, Matt Sex Sells, and you're watching the Planet Velvet Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Max Sex Sales. Genius name.
Neff is marking out for that name, no doubt about it. So, as you may or may not know, AEW or Tony Khan Enterprises or whatever you want to call it, presented a pay-per-view last night. Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. Ring of Honor is trying to find its footing after Tony Khan has purchased the organization. And the main event of that show was the Ring of Honor World Championship being defended. Now, I always talk about this and I always harp on it. 2005, I was selected Georgia Wrestling Rookie of the Year. 2006 was a guy named Eric Steele. 2007 was Jonathan Gresham, who defended the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship last night against the former Cesaro, who is now using his real name, Claudio Castagnoli. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new World Heavyweight Champion, as Claudio Castagnoli captured his very first World Championship, Singles World Championship, in Ring of Honor. Now, the crazy thing is the match should have been the story. And it was for a little while. But as of today, we've heard that Jonathan Gresham wasn't too happy with the way things went. Jonathan Gresham had a shouting match with Tony Khan that included some really colorful language. And as a result of that, Jonathan Gresham has asked for his release from AEW / Ring of Honor Wrestling. I was actually going to pass it off to Neff, but he went away. So, let me just talk about this for a second. Claudio Castagnoli, World Championship, long time coming. Extremely misused in WWE. The guy has all the talent in the world. You remember when he was, when John Cena had the United States Championship Challenge. And as a result of that, one of his first opponents was Claudio Castagnoli, who was wrestling as Cesaro. Got a match out of Cena nobody thought he could. And even on the losing end, he looked like a champion. He really did. So, my thing with Claudio Castagnoli winning the championship, I think it was a long time coming. Well deserved. Very well deserved. As far as Jonathan Gresham goes, all I can do is talk about what I've heard. And what I've heard is that apparently he isn't feeling, I guess, AEW's plans going forward. And just think about what he did throughout the year. He won the championship, unified it after beating Bandito for the title. It seems like he really hasn't had it that long. And now in the blink of an eye, he's lost the championship. So let's see what happens here. Ricky Silver says, I think the Gresham stuff is a work. It could be. Do you think that this is probably, when we say you think it's a work, it may or may not be. I mean, at this point in time, everybody thinks everything is a work, you know? And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I would like to get your opinions on some of the things that are going on here in Ring of Honor Wrestling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out our link right here. This is the link to the show. Let's see. I have to get Ricky's comments off of here. And let's go back to the banners. Neff has returned, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh. Have to change locations.
Neff had to change locations, ladies and gentlemen. But what I want to do, I want to create an open forum. Because I know a lot of our fans have a lot of things going on. And sometimes the dialogue box may not be enough for you guys. So here, ladies and gentlemen, is our open forum. You can join us right now on the podcast. If you have laptop, cell phone, decent to good internet, and audio capabilities,
No judgment.
right now to talk to us. Neff, I was talking about Claudio winning the championship last night. Your thoughts?
Oh, it's fantastic. Cesaro is his name. I'm not gonna stop calling him Cesaro. It's fantastic. I mean, it's crazy to even think about it. Like this is his first major singles championship. As talented as he is, as many pushes as he's had, so it's well deserved. I know the whole all the other stuff that's going on, the request for the release and all that stuff. Like, I think that was more so of just him being frustrated. Reports were saying that he was mad about the communication about the match. He felt like it wasn't well, advertised or promoted, and he just feels disrespected at the end of the day. Which I get it. It could have went through some proper promotion kind of thing, especially if he was going to have to lose it. So the request being, asked to be let go. I mean, I get it, but definitely happy for Cesaro because he deserves it. And I think as entertaining and as talented as he is, he's going to be a great champion. And yeah. And Jonathan Gresham didn't have it long either, right? Like it was it was a short reign. So yeah, I can understand him being a little pissed off. I mean, all these WWE former superstars get to come over and immediately get catapulted into big matches or like taking titles from them. So I think at the end of the day, he was probably told that he was going to be able to, be champion for a while, and then they changed the whole plan for that. So I get it.
Right. I feel the same way. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of murky to me. I know there's more to the story than we've been talking about.
Right.
There's got to be more to it because all we get is bits and pieces. It's just kind of like edited footage. You get a little here, you get a little there. You just don't know what's going to be said or what's true. It's three sides to every story: his side, their side, and then the truth.
Right.
So, ultimately, I hope that this isn't the end of Jonathan Gresham in Ring of Honor or in AEW because the guy is talented. And that's not to say he can't make it anywhere else because I know he go to Impact and tear things up over there.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Jonathan Gresham remain on the big stage. I really would. I would really hate for a disagreement to derail his career where he's relegated to Impact and everything below that.
Right.
That's not knocking shows like Major League Wrestling and the NWA because I'm a huge fan of both of them, of both shows. I just don't think Jonathan Gresham deserves to be on those shows, as opposed to being, with the NWA. I mean, not the NWA, but with AEW. I think that's where he belongs. I really do. So we talk about Ring of Honor. We're talking about Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro, winning the championship. So now what we wind up with is a very, very powerful unit in the Blackpool Fight Club, who has interim AEW champion, John Moxley. I'm not sure if Wheeler Yuta lost the Pure Championship last night, but if he hasn't, he's still a big deal. Now you have the Ring of Honor World Champion. And we talk about factions and powerful factions in professional wrestling. How would you compare that faction to the Bloodline?
Ooh. We can't compare that. Not right now.
Yes, sir. We can and we will. Oh, we gonna know. We're gonna put you
I mean, we're talking long as raining right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in that work. We're talking long as raining. I think, like faction wise, though, a great stable for AEW. Something they could build off of. Something that they could just kind of, keep putting on hell of shows with. So yeah, that's that. It has that presence of the Bloodline, but it ain't Bloodline though, man. Not yet.
Glad to hear you say that AEW has a great stable.
Yeah, they got a great stable. Yeah, that's a great faction. You put that together, run it.
Because that was kind of our thing not too long ago. We were trying to figure out what factions of AEW we wanted to kick over and everything.
Right.
Ricky Silva has a couple of comments. Ricky Silva says Triple H will pick up Gresham and Jordan quick. Don't lose sight of that. He's speaking of Jordan Grace, who is Gresham's wife. Neff, if you think both of them become free agents, do you think Triple H will pick them up? And not only pick them up, how do you think he will use them if he does?
I mean, a pickup, yeah, because
if they go to WWE, do you think they'll get lost in the shuffle?
There is nothing to shuffle in WWE. Anybody that come to WWE right now, you have a shot at major time. Like, let's be real. They've lost more than they've gained. And they're scrambling, trying to put things around, move things around, make it all make sense, just trying to make it to WrestleMania. And that's the interesting part about it, is that your options. I mean, come on. Like I said a couple weeks back, before John Cena showed up, I said, who they about to call? John Cena? And next thing you know, he appears 2 weeks later. Like, that's how bottom of the totem pole and just where they are right now, talent-wise. So if you can luck up and get them to out the gate, then yeah, Stephanie and Triple H and Khan, they all have to be very aggressive right now. Because now we're getting the change that everybody's been asking for, so, regardless of how it happened, everyone asked for this change. Let's see what they do with it. Because now you got to take it to a whole nother level. Everything can't be status quo. Everything can't go the same way it's been for years. You got to push the envelope. So, bars being raised, I mean, it's a great pickup, and I wouldn't put it past them. I immediately scoop it.
I get you on that. I totally feel you on that. Jordan Grace, really cool. And she's been the topic of controversy as of late with her comments about Chris Benoit. But she squashed all that with Benoit's family. We won't get into the whole Nancy Benoit's sister thing, because that's just a big old mess right now. Ricky's on a roll, man. Ricky is on a roll. He's giving us more. So Ricky has 2 more comments. So we're gonna talk about this. Ricky, you're gonna have to use that. You may have to use that link and jump on here with us, man, because we need to talk to you. I'm just gonna bring Ricky Silver on this show sooner or later, because Ricky's like one of my best friends in professional wrestling and outside of pro wrestling. So I got to bring Ricky on here. But until then, Ricky says, and Bryan Danielson is cleared to compete now. He'll be wrestling on Dynamite. BCC is clearly stronger than Bloodline. I don't think this sits well with Neff right now, but when we're talking about accomplishments, we're talking about 3 singles champions, and the only person in the group that does not have a singles title is Bryan Danielson. Neff, come on, man. I'm just saying.
Look, let's not.
I get where you're coming from, because you're saying, okay, they've accomplished this, that's fine. All right. We're a week or a day or a week or whatever, outside of them, doing all this kind of stuff like this, but they haven't really had the momentum. They haven't had the longevity to defend the championships. They got the belts, they don't have no championships. Would an undisputed world champion in Jon Moxley change your mind?
No.
About the BCC?
No. We've talked about this. They have how many belts? You got about 30 belts. Everybody's gonna have a belt. AEW. Yeah, AEW. Everyone's gonna have a belt before it's all said and done with. They're gonna bring up every single division. They're gonna have a weight belt. They're gonna have all kind of belts. They got enough belts. It's like, like, I get it if it's giving you like 4 Horsemen vibes, but at the same time, it's enough belts for everybody in AEW.
You're right.
Everyone's gonna have one.
You're right. Like, I'm confused about the status of the All Atlantic Championship. I don't know what that is. Like, it's just, I don't know. Man, I'm in the same boat with you, man. There's a lot of belts in AEW right now. Too many belts.
They don't mean a thing.
Way too many championships, man.
They're gonna start handing out trophies.
Hell, they already they had the women's tag team medals, and they're going. Like, they came and went just as fast.
Because they woke up after the night of my analytics department, Mr. Jack and Daniels. They woke up the next day. I was like, man, this is stupid. Why we got medals? This doesn't make any sense. This is not the Olympics.
Oh man, more from Ricky Silver, ladies and gentlemen. Bloodline has one singles guy who's been positioned higher than anyone else in the company, and one tag team that's top tier. BCC, Blackpool Combat Club, has three legit main eventers who could carry a top title, plus a student. Look, you know what? God, I wish I can get Ricky on here so bad because I want him to verbalize all this right now. I want to stand in the middle of him and Neff and just go like this and just watch them talk, like for real, because this just seems to be this is good. This is good right here. All right, so Ricky's on a roll, man. You should see this comment box. It's just like all Ricky right now, with the exception of one of my buddies, Rob Lamb, who has joined us on Facebook. And I'm gonna check out Rob's question right now. I'm gonna give Ricky a break for like 2 questions, but I'm gonna jump on to Rob's question right now. Rob talks about the recent retirement of Vince McMahon, and his question is: so with Vince retired, what direction do you think Steph is going to take WWE? Well, my personal opinion is I think it's not going to be Steph in charge of WWE's total direction. I do not think that she's going to be the only one who has input in it. If it was all Steph, then I could probably make that statement. But I know that Triple H, as creative as he is and as good as the eye as he has for talent, is going to be very, very influential in the overall WWE product. So I can't really say Steph. As far as what direction I think Triple H is going to go in, I'll put it like this. I think as good as Triple H was, I think he did a fantastic job that was totally influenced by the fact that he was working for Vince McMahon. I think he did a hell of a job in spite of that because him and Vince have some really different ideologies about professional wrestling. Now that Vince is gone, I don't necessarily see Vince as having been a safety net for Triple H. What I do see is Triple H having a little more creative freedom. And sometimes people think when folks get freedom, the first thing they do is get reckless. I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
Triple H has enough in-ring experience and enough out-of-ring experience and a boatload of discipline to make good decisions for the company. I think this time we will actually get something that is best for business just as well as is best for the overall product and the fans who are watching it. Neff, your opinion?
No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. They it's not like they got pushed into this position and haven't been around the business. They know the business. They know what the fans want. Stephanie and Triple H are very in tune with the fan base and the WWE universe. They're always looking to see what we want. And now they get to. I mean, we're talking. Like when you say because I laugh at the reckless because it's like, yeah, you get drunk with power. Then it's like, oh, Triple H's like, oh, I could do what I want. Then we got to think about just, the whole DX era of like the DX time of Triple H and Stephanie and all that stuff and just revolutionizing the game and bringing that attitude and putting that in play. Like, I know that their morals, their compass is in the right direction. But they know that they got to raise that bar. And if there's any opportunity or chance to do that, it is right now to really, really raise that bar, get out of the old, way of doing things, the old way of telling stories. So the opportunity is great for them. And I know they're going to knock it out the park.
Right. And I think when, and this might ruffle your feathers a little bit, but I think when it comes to control of an organization, you have a gauge. On one end, you've got Triple H. On the other end, you have Jeff Jarrett. And when I say that, I knew your eyes were going to go crazy. But look, the reason I say that is this. If you know Jeff Jarrett, you know that Jeff Jarrett's like 5'9", but thinks he's about 7 feet damn tall. If you put Jeff Jarrett in a position of authority, eventually whatever he is leading becomes about him. And the business fails. It always happens. Jeff Jarrett is not a main event player. He never has been. He's been put in a position before. Yeah, he's wrestled main event matches, He just does not have that main event energy that makes me say I want to watch a Jeff Jarrett match. Hell of a mid-card wrestler. Great, but never a main event guy.
Can cut the hell out of a promo.
Huh?
He can cut the hell out of a promo.
Yeah, it's about one of the few things he's good at. Besides stealing Kurt Angle's wife. But we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, I mean, like, but I think Triple H and Stephanie have some really big things in store for WWE. I don't think it's gonna be immediate, but I think that we should all just enjoy the ride right now.
Oh, it's got to be immediate. It's got to be immediate. They'll progressively get there, but they already moving in that direction.
Gotcha.
They knew about these allegations and stuff well before us.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to talk some more about wrestling. We're probably just going to talk about some random wrestling things. We only got a few minutes left. It's me. It's Neff. It's Ricky Silver. We're coming back, ladies and gentlemen, with more of the
Come
Planet.
on next week.
Oh, I'm getting them. I'm getting Ricky. You got an open invitation, man. I'm telling you, I got to get you on here next week, man. We got to talk to Ricky Silver, man. Got to talk to him. All right. So, stick and stay, don't go away. This is the Planet Velvet Pro Wrestling Podcast.
I mean, this is not the MySpace age, Dad. We need to use social media to our advantage.
She's still missing.
Well, then you should know I'm going to stop at absolutely nothing until I find mine.
Oh, should I wait with you? You know, it gets pretty dangerous out here this time of night.
Why can't her mother watch her? Hell, why can't she watch herself? She's a teenager.
Good choice of words.
Excuse me? You're right. Who wants a case of the bitch?
Excuse me?
Hey, baby.
I found his address.
So you all been thinking about this for a while, huh?
You gonna act like you don't hear me? Oh, I got something for that. Freeze!
You are my life.
Yeah, well, you have a funny way of showing it.
Hey, Captain!
Charles Reedon, computer specialist. Think you guys have him labeled as the Grant Park killer.
The war is just beginning, and the bad part about it, they won't even see it coming. What's your fixation?
That's my favorite part right there. She opened up that door. Boop.
That punch in the face. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some late breaking news. We have spoken in depth about the ultimate participation by one of my great wrestling friends, Ricky Silver. In the midst of all this, we have talked to Ricky Silver. We have spoken about him. We have asked him and extended an open invitation to come to the Planet Velvet Pro Wrestling Podcast next week. Ricky Silver's response, I'm down. So, ladies and gentlemen, please be aware that next weekend, we will not leave any stone unturned. We will dot every I. We will cross every T. And we will get Middle Georgia wrestling legend, Ricky Silver, on the Planet Velvet Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it.
The good news just keeps on coming because Ricky Silver has not only responded to our invitation, but he has also given us his role next week. Ricky says he'll be Stephen A. I'll be Skip Bayless. You can be Max Kellerman. Really? I'm Max Kellerman.
Well, I gotta be Stephen A. I'd rather be Shannon Sharp, so I can be like, Skip. Listen to me, Skip.
Stop playing, Skip.
Come on, Skip. Come on, Skip. Let me tell you something, Skip.
Stop playing, Skip. My granddaddy always taught me, if you got to always be the bigger person, you're hanging around too many little people. Something like that. I'm close. I don't care. I ain't never met Shannon Sharp's granddaddy, but he's the greatest man of all time next to me.
All time.
All time. Yes. Oh my God. Man, I just had a passing thought. We talk about Stephanie and we talk about women's wrestling. If there's any one woman in wrestling whose momentum has seen it just fizzled out completely, it's got to be Shayna Baszler. What do you think? Do you think Shayna Baszler has a productive future or a championship future in WWE?
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later, they still trying to just figure things out right now with the women's division.
I'm not talking about the 24/7 championship because, as you know, Alexa Bliss won her first championship in 2 years in WWE, and it just happened to be the 24/7 championship, which she lost in about 5 seconds.
The hardcore championship. That's all that is. It's just a watered down hardcore championship.
I'm not buying that hardcore stuff until somebody takes a hammer and hits the middle of that damn thing and breaks it. That belt's too pretty to be hardcore. I need that belt. I need somebody to Stan Hansen that belt for real. If you know anything about
it's the PG, it's the PG hardcore championship. It has to be, this is why it's 24/7. Yeah.
Well, now that there's a TV 14 rating, somebody might do something to that belt. You never know. They need to. They definitely need to. Neff, any random wrestling thoughts you want to lay on us, sir?
Random wrestling thoughts. I have one. Logan Paul and The Miz. That's a random wrestling thought for you. Yeah. I actually digging it. I know we had this whole thing when it was like Logan Paul was gonna come in and just not be something, but pairing him with Miz, that's great TV.
Right. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's really good. It has the potential to be even great. Yeah. I think
if they do it right.
Right now, it's just baby steps. It's baby steps. It can be really good. SummerSlam is coming up pretty soon.
That it is.
We got Brock and Roman, supposedly for the last time. We have Street Profits challenging the Usos with JEFF JARRETT as a special REFEREE. We also have Austin Theory challenging Bobby Lashley.
Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory challenging Franklin Roberto Lashley for the United States Championship. Yeah, that's right.
I already told you what it is. He'll lose that, and he's going to be champion by the end of the night. Hush money paid for.
Here we go with the hush money thing again. These conspiracy theories are just going all over the place. Just saying it. It's nuts, ladies and gentlemen. We have had a crazy week in pro wrestling, and it all starts back up tomorrow night when Raw is on the USA Network again at 8 p.m. You can catch AEW Dark and Dark Revolution all over YouTube whenever you get ready. WWE NXT on the USA Network at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Wednesday. If I'm not mistaken, Impact comes on Thursday on whatever channel it comes on because it's bounced around all over the place. SmackDown, Friday, 8 p.m. AEW Rampage, 10 p.m. Friday. A lot of stuff going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Ricky Silver sighting. Ricky Silver is back in the comment section. Let's see what Ricky Silver has to say. Oh, we got about 3 or 4. Well, let's go down the whole Ricky Silver list. Let's go to Ricky Silver's comment number 1. In this, he talks about Shayna Baszler, where he says she needs a new gimmick. Right now, she'd be Ronda Rousey light. Even Sonya had to change it up. He's talking about Sonya Deville.
Facts.
All right. Facts.
I agree. Yeah, that's facts. What's next? Come on, Ricky. What's next? Go to the next one.
We're going to the next Ricky Silver question. It's time. It's time. It's Silver time, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the next comment from Ricky Silver. He says, that's the same route Seth took. Lost to Orton in the opening contest in Mania and came back and won the title in the main event. Interesting take by Ricky Silver. Neff said that that's going to happen. So that's another bit of facts. And with that, we roll on to the final Ricky Silver comment, which is, but I think Seth was seen more as a viable world champion than conspiracy theory is at the moment. Wow.
It's too much at an angle for all conspiracy theory. It's too much at an angle for him right now to become the youngest Money in the Bank winner, to become the youngest champion. And yeah, they I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I just say with a conspiracy theory, anything's possible.
Well, let me ask you this. With Austin or conspiracy theory being so young, do you think that this whole, think him getting over as much as he is, do you think it was somewhat of a way to try to replicate the success of Randy Orton in his earlier days? Because as you remember, that's one thing that Randy Orton was touted at. He wound up being a very young Intercontinental Champion. He became a very young world champion, even though Randy had attitude problems. The fact of the matter is they strapped a rocket to his back, and he won a lot in the very first years of his career. So do you think that Austin Theory's career path mirrors Randy Orton's in a sense?
It doesn't. And that's why it's annoying. And that's why I need answers, because none of it makes sense. Everybody's worked to get there, but majority of his biggest matches he's lost. It makes zero sense the push that they're putting behind him. That's like putting the entire WWE engine and strapping that some bitch on to conspiracy theory. Why? It does not make sense. Wow. He has some bright spots. I'm not saying that he's a bad wrestler. It's bright spots and it's a lot of potential just on his move set and where his mind goes when he's in a match. Like, I can see things clicking for him, but it's still, I don't care. You're 24. Where did you come from? Who's your daddy?
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, let me let you in on something. There are 3 things in this world you simply do not do. You never spit in the wind. You never tug on Superman's cape. And you never ignore a Ricky Silver comment, because we have another one. Here's another comment from Ricky Silver where he says,
we got to get off air, Ricky.
Same reason Brock wants to dip out. Ricky, like, soon as this show is over, man, I'm putting together a show poster for you. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, next week, I'm putting together a show poster. Ricky Silver's going to be our guest here on the Planet Velvet Pro Wrestling Podcast. So even if you got some stuff with you and some old gear or something, man, I'm telling you, no, don't stop, Ricky. Don't stop. No, Ricky's telling me some, all right, I'll stop. No, don't stop. Please don't stop, Ricky. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting together a show poster for Ricky next week. All right. But for right now, we got to end this week's show because we're way over time right now. Please be sure to tell these wonderful people where they can find you on social media.
Oh, man, you can find me on Facebook. That's Jesse. I am Neff Miller. In Instagram, 480MGNEF, man. That's where I'll be. You'll find me there.
All right. You can find me all over the internet, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok at Velvet478. And please check out this link below, www.planetvelvet.net. That is where this show, and all of our past episodes are. So please be sure to like and subscribe to our show, and be sure to share it. Share it like hell. I'm serious. That is this week's show. We don't know what next week's going to bring, but guess what? We're going to be here Sunday.
It's going to bring Ricky.
Yes, and Ricky Silver is going to be with us. Like, for real, I might get a silver backdrop for this show. I'm telling you. Like, you see how this backdrop is? Like, me and Neff are right here for everybody to see. But you know what? that whole thing with the ring right now, there's a Titantron in the back of that. It might be Ricky Silver's face transfixed on there or something.
I'm gonna wear my silver suit.
I might put on a silver chain or something, man, like silver Cuban links or something. But look, everybody, we have had a blast talking to you guys about this crazy week in pro wrestling. For Neff, I'm Velvet. We will see you guys right here next week at 4 p.m. Eastern. Everybody, have a great Sunday. Oh, yeah. And watch out for the woad. Watch out for the woad.